What's going on? Today we're taking a look at the Warlock Prismatic class here. We're using a Skull of Dire Ahamkara exotic helmet. The armor perk here is Actual Grandeur. Provides additional damage resistance during Nova Bomb final blows, and weapon final blows, while you have Devour grant super energy. This whole build is going to be around getting super energy as fast as possible, proccing your Devour, and having it as much as you possibly can. To pair up with the Skull of Dire Ahamkara, we are going to be using the Bad Juju exotic pulse rifle. So with String of Curses, kills will refill the magazine, increase damage for a short duration, and grant super energy based on the strength of the String of Curses. Now this gun does fire full auto, so all you have to do is just hold the trigger down. It will continue to go off. And now the String of Curses goes up to a stack of 5. So you will begin that increased damage and more super energy the longer that you're able to consistently get kills. Now the great thing about the exotic pulse rifle in that top slot, or just any exotic in the top slot, is that you're going to get an increased amount of damage towards red bar enemies. So if you have quite a few of red bar enemies in the area, you can kind of farm them to bring up your String of Curses, then kind of focus down onto your champions, the yellow bars, things like that. And then whenever you are getting lower on ammo, just go over towards the red bar enemies and put 1 to 2 bursts into them. Take them out, refill your mag, and just be on repeat. Now, with the Bad Juju, I don't see it anywhere in here unless I'm just kind of blind. But you do get an explosion after you get String of Curses going. You will start getting explosions, kind of like Firefly or Dragonfly, on enemies when you get a precision final blow. So that will help you deal with waves of enemies, as well as continuously proccing that String of Curses. Now, to pair up with that, we are using the Sojourner's Tail. I am using Quick Draw Opening Shot. You can use a ton of different options here. And then we have the Splicer Surge Origin trait. So reloading after dealing damage grants stacking, reload speed, and handling bonus until stowed. Now with this build, I'm not really reloading any of my second or my special ammo or my heavy ammo. It's doing it all in the background the entire time. Now with the Edge Transit and our power slot, I'm using Chain Reaction and Deconstruct. The reason that I would very highly suggest using Edge Transit is that the grenade launchers this season are absolutely broken with the artifact and all the perks that it has. And then the Edge Transit just goes in line so well with how the Void is going to react in this build. Now, when we go over into our armor mods here, we are looking at the Kinetic Siphon, Heavy Ammo Finder, and the Harmonic Siphon, as well as Firepower and Impact Induction to get our grenades out a lot more, and then just get those orbs of power. Arc Resist, just whatever resist that you're needing in the moment. And then I have a double Void Reserve to make sure I have as much possible backup ammo in the Edge Transit. And then over here on the legs, it is a little bit different than normal. We are using 1 Void Weapon Surge to give us a 7% boost on the Edge Transit. But then I have a Void Holster to help reload my Edge Transit when I pull out the Bad Juju, as well as I have a Solar Holster to help reload the Sojourner's Tail when I have the Bad Juju or the Edge Transit out. The reason I am doing that is just on the fact of I'm going to unleash all of the Edge Transit onto an enemy. If I need to, I can pull out the Sojourner's Tail, shoot him one time, and take him out, as well as Sojourner's Tail is used for the barrier champs, and I'll normally double tap them once to take out the barrier, once to kill them. And then we go back into the Bad Juju, just farming up as much super energy that we can, as well as just trying to proc that String of Curses, just keep it going. And then while we're doing that, the Solar Holster and the Void Holster both will reload the Sojourner's Tail and the Edge Transit while we're doing that before we need it for the next high-end damage. And then down here on the class line, we are using Reaper, Bomber, and Powerful Attraction. Now, when we go into the Prismatic class itself, obviously we're going to be using Nova Bomb because of the Skull of Ahamkara. And then we go with a Healing Rift. I am going to use Penumbral Blast instead of the Arcane Needle. The reason I'm using Penumbral Blast is so that way I can freeze the enemies and kind of get an area effect freeze, and then do more damage that way, kind of get them to shatter, do more damage. Shattering is insane this season, so definitely use that stasis abilities. Then we have the Vortex Grenade, pull everybody in, start getting the Feed the Void to kind of proc and get our Devour started. And so that goes straight into the aspects. We are using Feed the Void, so defeat a target with any ability will activate your Devour, and the Devour effects are improved in restoring additional health and more grenade energy, along with using the Hellion. Now, you could use Bleak Washer if you'd like to for your grenade. Me personally, I really do like the Vortex Grenade along with Hellion. And then down in the fragments, we are going to use Facet of Hope, Facet of Solitude, Facet of Purpose, Protection, and then I'm using Awakening to make sure I can get those Void Breaches, because that's another thing that's going to go great into the season, into the artifact, is having that Void Breach. Now, when we go look at the artifact here, we do have the Unstoppable Pulse Rifle, the Anti-Barrier Shotgun, and then the Overload Breach Load Grenade Launcher to make sure we can take care of all 3 different kinds of champions at any given moment. And then we are using Rapid Impacts for the GLs to get more reload speed if you do end up trying to reload with the Edge Transit. Fell the Revenant so we can deal more damage to the scoring. Now, when you are using Shadestalker armor, you will do more damage because it scales higher when you're using the seasonal armor. And then Enhanced Ether Generator. So we have a chance to spawn extra Dark Ether charges with those weapons, and then those weapons with the origin traits are going to have the modifier active, which is the Sojourn, not the Sojourn, the ones that look like they have bacon wrapped around them, like Vantage and things like that. That one's just kind of like a neutral that I have on there. Killing Breeze, so what Rapid Final Blows are going to give you increased to mobility, allow you to move around a little bit better. And then Power from Pain. This is one that's going to help out a lot. So Rapid Final Blows against weakened combatants are going to grant us Devour. And then rapidly defeating weakened combatants are going to spawn a Void Breach if you use the Volatile Tonic. So anything that has a shield, anything that is a champ, anything like that, that's going to create that that weaken effect on that enemy with the concussive reload here. So when you use a grenade launcher to damage a boss, dodge, damage a champion, or break combatant shield, it weakens them. If you use the boost, you will also get automatic reloaded stowed weapons when you are damaging bosses, champions, or break shields. Now the big ones are going to be Hail the Storm. So Shattering Stasis Crystals releases shards of ice that damage and slow targets. Now when you boost this, Shattering Frozen targets and Stasis Crystals are going to deal increased damage. So that is one that you're going to definitely want to be looking at while using Penumbra Blast, things like that, Cold Snap Grenades. If you don't use this one, I would definitely try to use the purple tonic that gives you both of these. Those two go great together. And then we have Supernova. So when you have these Void Breaches that you're picking up, it causes your next source of Void damage to create a large weakening pulse. So even though with Concussive Reload and in this Prismatic class, we don't have anything that's actually going to weaken the target because we're not using Dominion for our Void Grenades, we are able to pick up a Void Breach and then hit an enemy or hit a group of enemies. It's going to create that weaken, and then that weaken is then going to proc us Devour without us having to use Feed the Void. And then we're using Kinetic Impacts to round it all out. So sustained damage with a Power Grenade Launcher being the Edge Transit is going to cause the combatant to emit a shockwave to damage nearby enemies. So it's just going to be giving it kinetic tremors on top of what it's already doing, and it's going to be able to help you stun unstoppable champions. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and check back in frequently for more content regarding Destiny 2. Bad Juju goes crazy. this. Let's charge up my super here. Do this. Get it back even faster. Just like that, we have another super. Hit this man with. Oh. Oh.